What up, peeps? Tony Baker here, back with another movie review. This time I'm reviewing Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Quentin Tarantino's. They say it's his 9th film, but let me do the count real quick. Okay, we got Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, Death Proof, Inglourious Bastards, Kill Bill. Is Kill Bill Volume 2 a separate film? We'll throw Kill Bill 2 in there real quick. Django Unchained, Hateful Eight. So I guess Kill Bill is considered one movie, so there we go. We got the 9. All right, I'm gonna just let you guys know, right? I did this list and posted it on my Instagram before. Kill Bill Volume 1 is my favorite Quentin Tarantino movie. Cam agrees behind the camera. It's my favorite because just the story, the action, everything just fit well. The story, the action was amazing. The lead character was dope. I mean, you know, people always want to say like Pulp Fiction or even Reservoir Dogs, but I feel like Kill Bill Volume 1 was just perfect Quentin Tarantino, from the soundtrack to the visuals to the fight choreography to the anime they threw in there. Everything is just, it works like a charm. Volume 2, Fumble City, but it's still great, but it kind of let me down at the end. But anyway, to this movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. Man, what a duo, man. You know, everybody loves Brad Pitt and Leo. That's pretty much a given. Like, you really don't hear people hating on either of them. You know what I'm saying? Brad Pitt is just so cool, you know, handsome. If Brad Pitt took your girl, you just accept it. Like, hey, just bring her back eventually. I get it, you know what I'm saying? Leonardo DiCaprio, man, everybody loves him. Actor extraordinaire. He's amazing in everything he's in, pretty much. So you got this dynamic duo. You know, Margot Robbie is in it. She plays Sharon Tate. And the story is centered around an actor played by Leonardo DiCaprio. It's pretty much kind of washed up, but, you know, not really, but headed towards there. You know, he's a TV star. The roles are kind of getting smaller and smaller. He's starting to play the villain more. And this is like the 60s Hollywood, where you kind of really didn't want to be the villain. You kind of just wanted to be the hero all the time. That way you got the longevity in your career. So it's very centered around Hollywood and actor. And Brad Pitt plays his stunt double. And they're really good friends. And like, the chemistry between Leo and Brad is great. Like, the friendship they had, I loved it. I loved seeing them interact. Brad Pitt was just such a laid-back character. He's a stuntman, so, you know, he's done it all. He's seen it all. He's got the checkered past, the mysterious past, but he's just so cool, laid back. And there's this great scene in the movie between him and Bruce Lee. It's just fantastic. That character, to me, was more interesting than the Leo character. I just wasn't that compelled into his struggle. I get it. You know, as an actor, you know, you want to keep your career going. You don't want to lose what you have. So I get where Leo was coming from, but it just wasn't that compelling from a film watching standpoint. But Brad Pitt's story, which linked into the real life story of the Charles Manson camp and, like, you know, the Charles Manson family. Because in real life, Sharon Tate was murdered, along with a few of her friends, was murdered by, you know, Charles Manson's family. And so it's kind of, it has that in the background. That's not the main focus of the movie, but it's definitely there. So it's just interesting to see that real life dynamic in this fictional story arc with the actor and the stunt double. But Brad Pitt, to me, it was Brad Pitt's movie. That's not to say Leo didn't kill it. The stuff Leo was doing in this movie, man, like, from an acting standpoint, it was just really dope to see, like, an actor struggling to nail his lines. So within that, he's struggling to nail his lines and keep the emotion of the scene within the scene of the real movie. And then he comes out of the character in the movie that we're watching him make, comes out of that, and there's just line, and you just see the desperation in him. Everything is scripted, though. Even him going off script is scripted. And then for him to nail the two different emotions, and then to get back into the fake film, and then, it's just, from an acting standpoint, I'm like, it was like Inception. Like, we digging the layers of his performance in this one scene. I'm just like, Leo, man. He's one of the best of the best. He's going down as one of the best actors of all time. Brad Pitt, he makes acting look easy. Like, to play this cool, like, you know, laid back kind of guy, he makes acting look like anybody can do it. And it's not easy. To do what he was doing in this movie, it was just like, he was just such a dope character. I was like, yo, this is one of my favorite Brad Pitt characters ever. I really felt that, because I knew going in, Quentin Tarantino is a wordy guy. Like, he loves to write words on the page. He's just sitting there. I could just see him in his little office, and he's just typing away and smiling. And you know Quentin Tarantino. He's like, oh, this is gonna be great. You know what I'm saying? I appreciated no N-bombs in this movie. You know, Quentin Tarantino loves to drop the N-bomb in his movies. No N-bombs in this. I was like, yes. So that was refreshing. I was like, thank God. Because especially after The Hateful Eight, I'm like, The Hateful Eight and Django Unchained, N-bomb city back to back. So this was refreshing. I'm like, oh, no N-bombs. Margot Robbie, she plays Sharon Tate, very sweetly played by her. And I realized, like, I always knew she was pretty. But like in this movie, I really was like, man, she is gorgeous. Like it was just one scene where it was just focused on her face and kind of panning out while she was driving. And I was like, wow, she's really good looking. She played the role. It was just, you could say they didn't give her much to do, but they kind of did. But it was just showing you what was going on parallel to what Leo was doing. And it all connects together towards the end. I will say this though, the movie up until the last act, I was kind of bored. Like this was about to be Quentin Tarantino's worst movie. That's where it was headed to. I was like, why are we going this way? You know what I mean? Like everything Brad Pitt was doing was interesting. Like when he went to the camp and he had this scene with Bruce Lee and like you were really into his past and like, but when they would focus on Leo's story, it was just like, I'm not really compelled. You know, yeah, you want to make it as an actor, but it was like the whole scene with Al Pacino and Leo, I didn't care. I didn't really care. But everything Brad was doing, I was interested. And plus they had that Charles Manson angle, which is interesting in itself. So I was just like, yeah, what we doing over here? Then they get back to Leo and I'm like, all right. So that whole back and forth, tug of war of like interest, I was like, ah. So the end though, that's when it picked up and I was like, okay, this movie just got saved. Let's say the end wasn't the way it ended, this would probably be Quentin's worst movie, in my opinion. Because at least Hateful Eight, I was more intrigued all the way up until the end. I was like, all right, where they going with this? What's going on? These characters are crazy. Like, what's really happening? And you know, Death Proof was pretty much forgettable. I remember a lot of dialogue, Kurt Russell killing it. That's all I really remember from it. One of the takeaways from the movie is just the wildness of the 60s, man. Like the 60s Hollywood, it had to be crazy back then. Drugs, sex with no condoms. It had to be wild back then. And like all the hippie, free spirit, love is love. Like, I can't imagine living back then, like in Hollywood. And it was dope to see like old school Hollywood. Especially I'm out here in Hollywood, so it was kind of dope to see that whole dynamic. Another takeaway is, I want to see Brad and Leo in another movie. I want them to get together once again, man. I want them to do like a few movies as a duo, like Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby did in the 70s. I would love to see those two get together more often because I think they really work well as a duo. And I love the friendship. That's probably my favorite element of the movie, was their actual friendship. Like I said, the end of the movie was top notch. Didn't see it coming. But forget all that. Y'all want to know the smooth jazz review of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Well, here it is. Oh, yeah. I'm giving Once Upon a Time in Hollywood 3 saxophones out of 5. Man, you know what I'm saying? Leo and Brad. That's it, man. They should do like a Lethal Weapon type movie. You know what I mean? That'd be dope, man. Because everybody can't duo it up. Especially when you got 2 A-list actors. Sometimes the chemistry ain't there. But for them, oh, it was there. It was there. All right, peeps, that's my review of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Let me know what you thought of the movie in the comment section below. How'd you feel about the ending? Without spoiling it, how'd you feel about the ending? I really like the ending, and I see what Quentin Tarantino is doing when he does stuff like this, and I like it. I like when he takes it there like that. But let me know what you thought in the comment section below. Also, let me know what your favorite Quentin Tarantino movie is. Give me one choice. Don't just be like this and that and this and that. Oh, I can't leave out this. Give me one choice on your favorite Tarantino movie. Let me know in the comment section below, man. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as usual, we out here.